How is it different working with angels versus working with demons? Let's talk about it. First and foremost, I actually want to touch on how they're the same. Angels and demons both will work with you to help you further your practice, to help further you in life, your goals, so on and so forth. In this degree, they are very similar. As somebody who works with both, has in the past and does currently, I can tell you that much, right? I was raised Catholic. I still work with angels now, but in a different capacity than standard like religious practice. And obviously I'm a demonologist. So that is there, right? And no, they don't care if you work with each other. That's a myth. They don't care. Actually, there's maybe like one or two instances they care. Asmodeus wouldn't take kindly if I worked with Raphael, for example, but that's a story for a different time. Anyway, all of that being said, working with demons, right, is like working with that harsh bestie energy, right? You're gonna do this. Whether you like it or not, you're going to do this. You open the door, you told me I could help, you're gonna fucking do this. And they're gonna make you follow through on whatever it is that you commit to, right? Some of them might be a little bit more gentle, some of them might give you kind of nudges in the direction that you need to go, but ultimately they're there to help you and to benefit you. And it can definitely be a bumpy ride, but it's always beneficial, it's always survivable. When it comes on a scale of difficulty, I would put working with demons at like a 5 or a 6, generally speaking, barring exceptions and, wild outliers, like a 5 or a 6 out of 10. Working with angels in a non-traditional capacity is like herding cats. And I say that because they bring lots of chaos. Demons can bring chaos too. They will initiate change without asking. But angels are the absolute epitome of taking things literally. So if you tell them you want something, they will make it happen like in the fastest point from point A to point B with no fucking around. Which sounds like it would be great, but like even demons give you a little bit of breathing room sometimes. Angels are just like done. On the flip side, angels have an extreme expectation of discipline. Not to say that demons don't, but demons also understand like human flaw and they have a little bit more empathy sometimes, whereas angels are just like, you asked for this, you didn't do XYZ, tell me why, right? And angels come with this sense of like chaotic directness that can really be a lot for people. Not to mention, if you work with Michael, you know what I'm talking about. It's just hammer down, fucking do or die type shit. Lots and lots of discipline. I would also like to say that from my personal experience, angels, their energy is a lot more intense. And again, maybe that's just me, but it is like staring into the sun or like sticking your finger in a light socket kind of intense. It's just very blinding, very loud, very direct type of energy. You can handle it. It is something that you have to get used to, and it can absolutely give you headaches at times. Whereas infernals, being a little bit lower vibrational, they're not quite as like in your face with their energy. And again, there are always exceptions. Some of them can be, but it's not as abrasive or direct of an energy. Camera did some weird shit. Oh well. Anyway, at the end of the day, you can work with both, right? You can work with angels and demons, one or the other. I don't have a recommendation on which one to start with because everybody's journey is different. Each of them have their own pros and cons, ups and downs. Each of them have their own difficulties. And angels, I would put at like a 7 or 8 for difficulty personally, just because they can be so direct and so straightforward. They can get frustrated with you. That will happen sometimes. You wouldn't think so, but they can. All of that being said, though, everybody's journey is different. Do what you want. Work with what resonates with you, right? The rules apply to both. Be respectful, always. Don't ever fuck around with that, I promise you. Because a demon will look at you and be like, disrespect, and like slap you on the wrist for it, in whatever way they seem that's fit. But like an angel is like disrespect, and then like you crash your car. So just don't do it. Don't do it. What else? I think that's it. I think that's the most of what I had to say. So like if you guys have more questions on what it's like to work with one or the other or both, feel free to drop them in the comments. I'm happy to do more parts to this or answer with like video replies. Hopefully this was helpful. Yeah, if you have any questions, if you think that there's an angel or an infernal or some other deity reaching out to you, I can help. I do have those confirmations in my shop. Otherwise, I'm always available for questions. My Patreon has information on all of this stuff as well. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think.